after anime onlys were sick and tired of this cringe Jiji guy and sat on that anger for over 6 months. This episode is his redemption. And first things first, on this redemption tour, we don't let our bestie down. Unless he tries to yeet your boy first, or himself. For this video, we will be discussing Dandadan Season 2, Episode 2, The Evil Eye. And please check out my previous Dandadan videos, there are a lot of them. And please check out my second anime channel where I focus on body. Now, let's jump into the darkness. To the darker pits of the endless abyss. A victim of the alien Didi adjacent Quito family has created something that should have grown up wholesome with a bright future ahead of him. However, it created one of the most dangerous yokais around. Like I mentioned in the previous episode, we have ourselves a stylistic change from the manga. The manga went straight to Okurin, wanting to yeet himself while in his normal human form. But Yamashiro Fuga in Abel Gongora said, drip, drip. Jiji takes the knife from Turbo Okurin because plot armor and important character development is meant to save Jiji from the eyes of everyone's hate. With his shirt off and everything, bro is so swole, and building upon Ayase Baba's words that he's a talented genius, he picks up his two friends and saves them from the giant phallic symbol's mind corruption. As it slithers around, Jiji notices that it might be reacting to the sounds around them. Momo moans, but it looks like the giant phallic symbol isn't responding to that. And so Semi-Turbo Okurin lifts up a sharp object once again and states outright that he wants to end his. Jiji is slowly putting everything together and is reminded of the traumatizing experience of coming home and seeing his parents attempted self-aliving, only to stop them before it was too late. The words "Shinasete" is a triggering one, but that doesn't stop a shonen from being a hero. But as Jiji has Okurin on lock, Momo lifts up a pointy pointer and stabs Turbo Baba. Nothing stops the combination of plot armor and a lucky cat. She delivers the order to Jiji,
stupid shonen, tie the Megane up,
so you can save the girl you are trying to NTR Okurin with. In the meantime, poor Turbo Baba is just a soft pillow punch to Momo's abdomen. With Okurin and Momo both all tied up, the psychic waves of the Tsuchinoko is explained as to the main cause of everyone wanting to yeet themselves. And Jiji hasn't realized his true potential just yet, as Momo uses her unseen hands. But Jiji can totally see the shards and unsees it with one of his eyes. The battle damage doesn't stop there, as the giant phallic symbol rears its sunny side up. But Jiji, once again, tanks another shard. With his arm, he picks Okurin, Momo, and Turbo Baba up and dips like their lives depended on it, running as fast as he can, falling from one floor to another, kicking the crap out of doors. He lands like his joints are made like super springs. With only one eye, it's hard to see, and so he slips, dropping all of his friends to the ground. Momo and Okurin slowly attempt to fall over the ledge, but oh my god, the Mongolian death worm is ready to shoot its plasma all over them. At last, here it comes. A bowl haircut not seen since episode 2. This is Yuki Nobutatsu's way, saying without a shadow of a doubt that Jiji will get the Ida treatment. Bring a character in an antagonistic light, only to find one of the best ways possible to win the audience over. Without Jiji, Okurin and Momo would be dying right here. Imagine being terrorized in your dreams by a bowl haircut. Okurin and Momo are back to normal, as it looks like 2 negatives equals regaining your sanity. So Turbo Baba warns them of the evil eye yokai. Looking at it in its eyes will make you go on repeat from what we just had to go through. This time, Okurin willingly turns into Turbo Baba and uses his ultimate ability of going head to head. Unfortunately for everyone, Okurin blasts himself into space, and the death worm regenerates because that's what worms do. Jiji Turbo Baba and Momo attempt to run away, but so does the Evil Eye, as Evil Eye makes eye-to-eye contact with Jiji's, unlocking another soul-crushing backstory. All this kid ever wanted was just a normal childhood and normal friends, but leave it to the Quito family to sacrifice one kid's future for their own. And so the birth of Evil Eye has begun, as a spiritual entity that just wants to make friends with other kids. He keeps running into one family after another, leading each child's parents to yeet themselves. With this dance of death that should just be a dance of playful innocence, with the death of the bowl haircut boy's parents and the Quito family wanting to sacrifice yet another innocent boy, Evil Eye couldn't help but want to save another just like him. And the vengeance he is starting to feel from the ones that has hurt him sends him into darkness as he fuses with the bowl haircut boy, and then Jiji wakes up. Momo tries to pull off the bowl haircut, but Jiji has totally fallen for sympathy, wanting to save Evil Eye. He quickly stops Momo and runs further below where his body lies. The deeper they go, the more houses they run into that were sacrifices for the great Tsuchinoko. And here it is, Logan Paul's worst nightmare. Turbo Baba is insistent that Evil Eye will ruin Jiji's life, but we all know the shonen way. When you have a good heart, it leads to your own detriment. Maybe this is where people continue to hate Jiji. Oh my god, I told you, phallic symbols end up even oozening, or it's just the fact that it is the Mongolian death worm. Not only does it electric shock you, it binds you to the ooze like glue. And speaking of not being able to move, Okuda busted one way too hard. Momo tries to pull herself out of the goo and yells out to Jiji, but Evil Eye connects himself to him first. Feeling guilty, he apologizes to Evil Eye for being scared of him, when in reality his life was one of torment, and it continued further on as a yokai. This is a child we're talking to here. With that being said, he wants to somehow save this poor soul and tells it he'll play with him for as much as he likes. Evil Eye takes over Jiji's body. There is a huge payoff going on here that hasn't even happened in the manga yet. I think we should really remember this episode. Maybe like 5 years from now, you might be able to see this play out in the anime. Just as Jiji's body goes limp from another electric shock from the Tsuchinoko and faceplants, the giant phallic symbol comes in to prey upon its sacrifices. However, welcome to Jiji's signature move right after the punch. This is where your good heart can be used against you, as Evil Eye is born. You minions are in trouble, and so Evil Eye shows Momo how to really kick. We got ourselves a classic possession trope here, as he clowns on Turbo Baba for being enslaved by humans and wanting to show humans what hell is truly about, since they want to sacrifice everyone. In this haunted house, Momo goes for the
You're not the Jiji I know.
I mean, that's kind of a good thing right now because the giant phallic symbol is still trying to eat them. Evil Eye blocks the electric shock and reveals the power of all the dead spirits that were sacrificed here, loading up on a spiritual football. He kicks it back and forth as it bounces off the death worm until it escapes. Turbo Baba mentions once again as to what Ayase Baba mentioned about Jiji's genius. On top of being physically strong, he's one of the strongest spiritual users alive, perfect as a vessel for Evil Eye. After the giant phallic symbol shrinks and escapes, Momo will become Evil Eye's first human victim as he launches an attack, but when Momo blocks it, he sneaks up to her from the side to deliver a hefty punch that launches her into the wall, with Turbo Baba cushioning the floor. Evil Eye gets ready to land another devastating blow to our poor Momo's cute face, but the powers of horny Turbo Baba makes a comeback at the perfect time at the cliffhanger. We are about to enter the best fight of the series this far, but let's not get ahead of ourselves here. The episode had a couple goals in mind to combine two entities into one. Not only is it important to know and understand Evil Eye's past pains and tragedies, the payoff for Jiji and Evil Eye's character must be this unimaginable, epic, climactic event when the time comes, because it hasn't even happened yet in the manga, like I said. And so we have like this innocent kid entity that decided to be evil and vengeful because the Kito family sacrificed them, and they try to do it with the bowl haircut boy too. However, we must keep in mind that Evil Eye is actually a kid, and that's very important to understand what kind of yokai and character this is. Then we have Jiji's entire redemption. People hate him because he is the NTR. He is the potential romantic foil for our deuteragonist, Okudan, Takakura Ken. However, now you can't deny that Jiji saved Okudan and Momo's life, because if he wasn't there, they'd be dead. But at the same time, he was the one that put them in danger by actually being there and by actually saving Evil Eye. So at this point, it's pretty much established that Okudan and Jiji are best friends. I mean, Okudan does only have like 2 friends now. So from before, the reason why a lot of people hate Jiji is because of how he acts. So now this episode has shown a different side to Jiji. He showed his resolve, resilience. It showed that he has a good heart. He has all the classic shonen traits on top of being that genius that are sometimes reserved for the MC. It's this genius aspect to Jiji's character that Yukinobu Tatsu will be building upon for a very long time, alongside whatever the Evil Eye payoff will be, which might have to do with this. Overall, this episode is a slower episode, but is a very, very important one that lays the foundation for Jiji's character and Evil Eyes that at some point will pay dividends down the line. This episode, in my opinion, is that biggest shift between winning over more fans that were previously haters, like myself. Other than that, I appreciate all the creators putting together all these horror elements, along with the slight change of Okudan at the very beginning. There was one big thing I learned, and the people that watched the episodes in theaters learned, was that Abel Gongora was the one that went with the stylistic color choice of making Evil Eye purple. So it naturally creates this clash of his purple color that clashes with Okudan when he's in his Turbo Baba form. The entirety of the arc has this more darker tinted colors, and if Evil Eye reflected that, it wouldn't actually stand out as visually, but Evil Eye being purple really contrasts really well with the tinted color palettes. So I'm pretty happy with the co-directors, both Abel Gongora and Fuga Yamashiro, that they went with these themes and this kind of stylistic change, because it looks really well. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this episode of Dandadan. And do me a favor guys, hit the like button if you're ready for the Takakura Ken versus Evil Eye fight. And subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Check out my blog at otakusen.com. Check out my second anime channel where I talk about body heat. And I appreciate you guys watching. And I'll see you guys on the next video.